So this is a Lunar Delta Ti, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. This is stuff we'll take you through in person here on site, as well as the ATC. In the front locker you have your two gas bottle tie downs, and on the bulkhead you have your gas regulator also. It is actually a changeover gas valve on this particular van. So what you can actually do is, up on the bulkhead you have this valve here that actually turns, as you can see, and has a green section and a red section. The red section will always point to the bottle that you want turned off, essentially, so you can have another gas pipe fizz on this side and a gas pipe on this side. The green side is the side where the gas is going to flow from, and when you open up the gas valve you'll notice the little red marker here on top will actually go green. If that stays red, then you know your gas bottle is empty. In the front locker you'll also see your leg winder and the shower connection, the dog shower connection. On this side of the van you have your Aldi heating and hot water flue. That is very simply there to allow the heat out the back of the heating unit, and it's a bit like the flue you have on the side of your house. You'd never cover this up, and it does need to be left open at all times. You then have your wind down legs on either side of the front of the caravan to stabilise the caravan while it's on site, and they will just be put down to touch the ground rather than lift the caravan. If you lift the caravan with these legs it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Next up we have our water pump connection. Very simple to use, blue trigger on the back that you pull back to release. Pull the trigger back and pull the pump away, and pull the trigger back and push it into the side of the caravan to lock it in place. The pump itself drops down inside the aqua roll, and I'll show you where the wastewater comes out in a second. You then have your battery box and your mains power coming into the side of the caravan. We do have leisure batteries available here on site should you need to buy one. The wheel nuts will torque before you leave site with the caravan, so you can see they've been tightened correctly, and they will be torqued to the correct manufacturer's settings. Down the side of the caravan we have our waste water pipe, so the fresh water that goes in the front of the van that we saw down there will come out down the side here. You'll have two bits of grey pipe that connect into this connection and to this one, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. At the back of the caravan you have your toilet flush tank, so you'll open up the toilet flush tank and drop the flap down. You'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette. You pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap here is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid, and on the back of the cassette you have a pressure relief button, so you can press that button in when you're tipping the waste away so that it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In that cassette, you need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the caravan on either side, you'll notice you've got your wind down stabilising legs again. So where these cutouts are, just here, and the same on that side, you'll have the two wind down legs that you can put down onto the ground to stabilise the caravan. Then have your underbed storage coming down the side of the caravan, which you can access from the inside of the van also. Your two fridge vents, which allow hot air out the back of the fridge unit. Behind one of these you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. Then got your wet storage locker at the front of the caravan, your barbecue gas point, and the last wind down leg. We're on the inside of the caravan now. I'm just going to take you through the operation on the inside. So above the door you have your master control panel. So you've got your mains power on and off, or 12 volt power on and off, depending on what you're, whether you're on site or off site, or on grid or off grid. You've got your internal lights, your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment, and then you have your awning light for the outside of the caravan. Then on the right hand side of the screen here you've got some different options you can go through to adjust different settings on the caravan, as you can see, and times, etc. for your control panel. For these other advanced, or for the options that you've got in here, we do advise you read the manual, as it does take quite a while to explain them in the video if not. First thing you need to do is fill the water system up. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van you have your yellow drain down valve. So you need to make sure that yellow drain down valve is parallel with the floor to make sure you can fill the water system up. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water that you try putting into the caravan will pump back out onto the floor underneath. So the first thing you need to do is open up all of the taps on board the caravan once that yellow valve is parallel with the floor. So as you can see, taps are open. We've already got water in the system at the moment. But what I should say is about the yellow valve is that if that is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, then it'll actually drain all the water out of the system. So once all the taps are open, I do apologise, the caravan's not been cleaned yet. We haven't quite got to that stage yet. You're going to turn the water pump on, and the water system will start filling up. Now, when the water system is full, like I said, you need every tap open to be able to bleed the system. But once every tap is open on board the van, the water system will start filling up. And when the water system is full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. At that point then, you can shut all of the taps back off. So now we have our water system full, we can actually start warming the water on board the caravan. So the silver panel on the left hand side as you walk into the caravan is your heating and hot water controls. You've got power on and power on and power off on the button on the bottom left hand side here. It will then go through its loading screen as you just saw. Top left hand corner is indicating to me that we've got mains, the heating system is running on board the caravan, and the pump is pumping the antifreeze essentially round the system on board the van. You've then got a socket. Oh, pressed the wrong button there, sorry. Caught the off button. You've then got an indicator on the top right hand side of the screen to let me know we've got mains power coming into the caravan. And then below that we've got the current internal room temperature. To go into the options, you'll press menu. And at the top here, on the left hand side, you'll see a little symbol that indicates a thermometer inside a house. That is essentially your room temperature for the caravan. So you've got minus or plus to control the room temperature. Higher you go, the hotter the caravan will be. Below that, we have the hot water. So you've got hot water on when the bar's halfway up, and hot water boost when the bar's completely full. When it's off, the hot water will be off completely. On the next switch down, or the next symbol down, you'll see there's a lightning bolt. Now, essentially, what that means is the amount of power that is coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on to run the heating and hot water on. So you've got 1, 2, or 3 kilowatts available on this control panel. Now, depending on what caravan site you're on, each site will be different, and you would need to ask the site office to find out. It will depend on what you set this to. So, for instance, here on site, we can use 1 kilowatt of power to control our heating and hot water. This does not control the power going to the rest of the caravan. It is literally just for the heating and hot water. On the bottom left-hand side of the screen here, you have the option to run gas. So if you hit the gas option here, and the gas is turned on in the front locker, then the gas system will ignite. If it fails to ignite, it will come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen, with 2 exclamation marks either end. If it does ever come up with gas fail, it could just potentially mean the gas is turned off or there's an airlock in the system. If you do think it's an airlock, we would advise that you go to the hob, ignite the hob on gas and get the gas all the way through on the hob so it's running nicely, then turn the gas supply back off and try to reignite on the control panel just here. The reason for that is the gas on the hob is the last point on the gas system on the caravan. So in here also we have some advanced options for the heating and hot water, and again, as the same as with the main control panel on the caravan, we do advise that you read the manual that comes with the van because it'll explain it in a lot more detail. Hob, cooker and grill all work very much the same as your household appliances. If you're off grid and you haven't got mains power coming to the caravan, then you will not have the electric ring working. It will just be a case of the gas rings and the gas oven and grill. That's the same with the microwave. If you're off grid again, that won't work unless you've got a 240 main supply coming into the van. However, with the microwave, just a little tip for you. As you can see at the moment, it looks like it's turned off. Hit the eco button and the microwave will wake back up. It turns itself off after a short while to save power. The fridge itself is next up. To turn the fridge on, you've got the button on the left hand side here. The fridge will come on. You've got mains power coming into the caravan, as you can see here. So the first symbol we'll come to here is the mains power. So once it's on mains, you can control the fridge temperature on the button on the right hand side here. The more bars that are lit up, the colder the fridge will be. You've got the option to run gas here also, so you can select gas. Again, if the gas is turned on, it will self-ignite on gas. If it fails to ignite, it will flash the red warning light on the right hand side here, and also the flame symbol just here on this side. And again, if it was turned off, you can use the reset just here, just to reset the igniter, and it will start the igniting again. 12-volt supply is from the car you are towing with, so the battery symbol essentially means 12 volts. If you're towing down the road, you can actually use the fridge as a cool box, so you can get the beer and wine nice and cold when you arrive on site and you put up that awning. Essentially, you don't need to have essentially what you do is you come inside, turn the fridge on, and select the battery mode. Once you connect it to the car, you do not need to have either of the control panels turned on inside. Both of those can be turned off. And if for any reason it's not connected to the car, or you haven't got the right connection on the car, it'll actually start flashing these two symbols just here. If you want to change the freezer temperature, you can press the freezer button and that square will illuminate blue, and then you can control the fridge temperature by pressing the thermometer button, and that will control the freezer temperature on its own. The last thing we're going to go through on this particular caravan is in the bathroom, and that is the toilet system. So you have an electric flush on the toilet just here. Have a toilet full indicator light that illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you are trying to remove the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet seat is back in the central position as it is now. And then below the toilet you have the grey waste handle, which when open will allow the waste into the cassette underneath. And when it's put back into the central position, it will allow you to remove the cassette from under the van. If you have any further questions on the Lunar Delta Ti, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect the caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.